afford to see some of our most important leaders in the faith community at war with each other. If you see, and it's not all the crises that we have described. We have not spoken about racism, open racism, how individual acts of racism have become reality in this nation. We are a people in pain and a people in crisis, and therefore we can't afford to see our prominent faith community leaders at war with each other. Black First Land First believe in the principle of peace amongst blacks and war against the enemy. This principle enjoins us to seek peace among blacks whenever there is conflict. We seek this peace with justice for the wronged. This principle is informed by the African dispute resolution process, which encourages restorative justice instead of retribution. The wronged must be acknowledged and restituted. Black First Land First notes with concern the sustained public attacks on Prophet Bushiri by Prophet Mboro recently. It makes no difference what the source of these disagreements are, but these attacks only serve to divide and weaken the black independent ministry. The black church, independent church, where Prophet Mboro operates and Prophet Bushiri is under attack. That is why we came out and we stood with Prophet Bushiri when he was attacked, only because successful young a leader. That's why he has been dragged into courts. When you look at those charges, you can see this is all trumped up so that he is attacked. Like all black successful leaders are attacked in this nation. We as Black First Land First stood and we continue to stand with Prophet Bushiri as far as that attack is concerned. And so when this happens now, these attacks now coming from Prophet Mboro, they then give credence to this unfounded attack. And in the attacks that we've seen from Prophet Mboro, xenophobic utterances have been made. Pastor Mboro has on several occasions called on Prophet Bushiri to go home. At no stage have Prophet Mboro called the Church of England and the Catholic Church to go back home. This is a concerning development that must be checked immediately. BLF condemns xenophobic statements aimed at stirring black-on-black hatred among Africans living in South Africa. We must find solutions to our differences without degenerating into the agenda of the enemy, because the enemy wants us divided and fighting. BLF furthermore knows that Prophet Bushiri is in South Africa legally and has not broken any immigration laws. And as such, calling for his deportation is purely Afrophobic statement. This is unfortunate. We call on Prophet Mboro and Prophet Bushiri to turn their attention to help us fight white monopoly capital. The first act towards such unity is capacity to resolve issues among the church leadership through a process controlled by the church itself, not running to courts, giving white people the opportunity to perpetuate these fights, and in this sense, the divisions. As Africans, black people, let's solve our own problems amongst ourselves. Pastor Mboro must lead by example and show he is a man of God. In the same vein, we expect the major one to do. The issues raised by Prophet Mboro need to be addressed in a genuine way, not to be used to grandstand and to attack other churches. There must be justice for the victims. Black First Land First stand with the victims all the time, and we stand with the poor. And I suppose at this point I can also report that Prophet Mboro has contacted me at the beginning and said people have approached him who have issues or complaints against Prophet Bushiri, and I must come and listen to these people. And I said, yes, I will do it. Unfortunately, it was a short notice. I was unable to do so. I just wanted to put it out that Prophet Mboro has reached out to me. Subsequently, however, how this whole issue has been dealt with does not satisfy us. It concerns us and shows division, and it has been handled in our view in a manner that weakens both Prophet Mboro and Prophet Bushiri. We can resolve this matter with justice for those that have been wronged. The wronged must not be paraded in the media spectacle, you know. If you help people, help them. Don't use their pain to push other agendas. BLF asked the prophets to stop the public spats and go into deep meditation to find godly ways to deal with the concern being raised. BLF shall write letters to both Prophet Mboro and Prophet Bushiri asking that an alternative dispute resolution process be explored and to be addressed. So to address these matters. As Africans, we always have room to engage and resolve matters in a restorative way instead of seeking retribution. We have confidence that the two men of God will heed our humble counsel. We hope once they receive the letter tonight, tomorrow, both men of God would consider subjecting themselves to this alternative dispute resolution process, in which case we will ask them to remove the matter from the court. And we deal with this as Africans and black people. We have done this before, we can do it again. We are subjecting ourselves to court processes which are anti-us. So that is, we hope that your time frame question is simply that we hope that they will respond to us. We hope that by Sunday already the churches will have some, as we call them, we ask them that there must be prayers for peace, for unity. We'll see a positive spin already. So yes, that's where we are. But we will keep the nation informed, and we will probe, and we will report those who don't want to find a solution to a process which we believe is very open. We are very unhappy when we see Prophet Mboro speak like that about the Prophet Bushiri. We don't want to see these great Africans, these great men of God, fighting amongst themselves. It breaks our spirits at a time when this nation needs such people to stand up and to give guidance. As we say, in the alternative dispute resolution process we are suggesting, we will obviously have to listen to the victims, and together with these men of God to find a solution that will be just, that will bring restorative justice, that will make sure that we don't leave our people not being addressed, and also to clarify. Of course, in the letter that we will write, we will deal with an independent mediator to make sure that the process is fair for everyone. So, at the crux of this process is the victim, the justice for the victim.